When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite. Obey your thirst.
Every Who down in Who Newville liked the holidays a ton. But where to get great prices on gifts, they had no idea. None. They searched and they searched for great gifts under $25. Gifts for spouses and friends and even their toddlers. When suddenly one Who shouted, Walmart has what you want, knowing they have Lego, Tree Hut, and low prices to flaunt. So they enjoy the holiday season as Who's often do. Cheering and shouting, Walmart has incredible gifts. Who knew? Find gifts they'll love under $25 at Walmart.
This episode is brought to you by McAfee.
Finish your fantasy lineup?
No, but I'm joining this paid group chat with insider info.
Dude, seriously? Forward it to me. Security alert from McAfee. That group's as legit as that knockoff jersey you're wearing.
McAfee's scam detector is available in all McAfee plans for as little as $39.99 for your first year. Learn more at McAfee.com/online protection.
Here's my 30-second story with Guinness. As soon as my sister and I get home for the holidays, we don't even unpack. We head straight to our pub. The bartender already knows our order, Guinness and fries. We laugh all night, catch up with old friends, and walk home with faces sore from smiling. It's one of my favorite nights of the year. That was my 30-second story with Guinness.
Guinness Draft Stout. Please enjoy responsibly. Imported by Diageo Beer Company, USA, New York, New York.
And welcome back once again to the Skating Penguin Network, everyone. It is Robbie here on the evening of Monday, December 22nd. We are in the very last days until Christmas is here. But before we get there, we have some Penguins hockey to talk about. Some good, some bad, and a big milestone for a Penguins player that we'll discuss in this episode. But before we get to the details of the hockey, as always, Snail on the other end of the line. And how are we doing today, Snail, out there in the Northwest?
It's ugly out here, man. It's windy and stormy, and it's warm too. It doesn't feel like it really doesn't feel like Christmas is around the corner, man. Like we haven't had any frost yet, even. Like,
oh wow,
it's just like it's windy. It haven't lost power, which is good, but like I got to put our garbages out on the street every Monday, and the last couple of Mondays I can't leave them out on the side of the road because I know they will get knocked over. Every couple of days I have to go outside and pick up all this stuff in the yard that get like all the lawn chairs and stuff that get blown about. It's really annoying, man. And yeah, there's something definitely up with this climate stuff, dude. Like it is not the last couple of years, things have not been normal or like the traditional sense of like the seasons. It's been weird and we're feeling it here today. But other than that, man, Christmas shopping's all done. A lot of weight off the shoulders. Yeah. I'm kind of one of those people that tends to wait till the last minute. I don't know where you are on that. I'd like to be a proactive shopper and get things, like my sister, for example, she kind of does Christmas shopping throughout the year. Like before, like in the summertime, she would even be like, you think mom would like this? Or like, like it's not uncommon to get a text from my sister about like Christmas gifts in July. And then, my mom and my parents kind of do things a certain way. They used to be like Black Friday type people, but online type stuff and never really go out. And me, that week before Christmas is usually when I just suffer one day and go out there and trudge around and get things done. But it's all done. And I've actually been sleeping a little better with everything kind of caught up, man. Just got to wrap the things. So that's what's going on in my world out here, Robbie. How are things out east in the Western PA?
They're not too bad. The weather's been kind of up and down, kind of weird. Like one day it's warm, one day it's cold. Warm from December. Right now there's like some flurries coming down, but tomorrow it's supposed to rain and be like almost 50. And then Christmas Day it's supposed to be freezing with a chance of sleet or snow. So it's kind of all over the map here out here in Western PA. I know the last time the Penguins were home, it was all hell broke loose weather-wise. We got a big storm, but that melted away within like 48 hours. It got really warm really quick. Wow. Yeah, it was crazy. It really.
How warm we talking?
like mid-50s.
Okay.
Yeah, and it went from like 25 to like mid-50s in like the span of 48 hours. It was pretty crazy. The snow doesn't really stand a chance then, but
No way.
no, it's supposed to rain tomorrow, and then at least Wednesday and Thursday are supposed to at least be sunny, hitting around 40 degrees, but then maybe some rain and some sleet coming in over the weekend. So hopefully it doesn't get too bad, because that's just a mess to drive in. Nobody likes that. But I had to do some grocery shopping after work today. And yeah, it's like every man for themselves out there right now. It is full on. You got to be aggressive. You got to be head on a swivel. You don't know when you're going to get like old granny's going to be like Matt Cook on Mark Savard coming out of nowhere and putting an elbow into the temple.
Yeah.
You got to be head on a swivel. You got to be quick. You got to be ready for anything, whether you're driving, walking, whatever the case. People are just no holds bar this time of year. But yeah, and I'm going to try to remain as close to home the next like 3 days as possible. Not have to go out if I can avoid it at all, because it's going to be mass chaos. But yeah, I mean, things are good here. Getting down to Christmas, but the Penguins, the last time we talked, things weren't good. The Penguins had just blown another lead at that point. I believe they'd just blown the Utah game. No, the Edmonton game. They just got run out of the building by Edmonton.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they had just squandered a huge 5-game road trip or homestand. And they were going to Canada then for a 2 games against a game against Ottawa and then a game against Montreal. And let's put it this way: they were outscored 8-0 in these 2 games. They did not score a single goal on the dad strip this year. They
insane, man.
Yeah, they looked uncompetitive for long stretches, very disinterested, and I really thought like getting away from home, kind of cleansing your palate of those blown leads and just the bad homestand would maybe give you a little boost, even though you're going on the road. They did the exact opposite. That was just downright bad hockey from the Penguins, starting in Ottawa.
Oh, that Ottawa game was brutal, man. Like I watched the majority of that game, and disinterest is what it looks like, but I'm actually curious, Robbie, is this like is this team tired?
Oh, I think they're tired. Like, yeah, I mean, it's not great to say that because they played like the least amount of games of anybody in the league.
Oh,
but again, even though they had that time off, like you had the long trip overseas, and basically since Thanksgiving, they've been packing in games left and right, really.
It's like 2 weeks in a row where they had 4 games a week.
Yeah.
Or was it? It was like, it's like you have 2 games at the beginning of the week, and then you have back-to-backs on like the weekend in some capacity.
Yeah, I mean, starting in Dallas, they had a game every other day through that week, and then a back-to-back on the weekend. And then after Utah, it was really the same exact schedule. Basically, they played Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and then they had the home and home with Montreal over the weekend. So they basically had the same exact schedule, a day off, and then your weekends are kind of taken up by back-to-back. So like they don't have much time off this month until the Christmas break coming up. But no, I mean, I definitely think there's some exhaustion there. You can see it. The legs are a little bit heavy. And that's, again, they have guys out of the lineup. Evgeny Malkin's missing. Blake Lazat's missing. You had the Tristan Jarry trade, which kind of threw everything into a bit of a flux.
Don't forget you're missing Caleb Jones.
Yeah, and then and Connor Clifton, and then like the wind was just taken out of everything with those blown leads. Like we're talking completely different story if they hold on to those leads. Like it's completely different outlook from where we are now, and yet they still got 3 points out of that. But you threw 3 points away, and in a tight race, in a tight race, you'd rather just have those 3 points, and it always feels good to win. So yeah, a combination of being tired and it seemed like they were zapped after those blown leads. It just seemed like everything was zapped.
Yeah, man. And I we talked about that on here, like those games that they blew those leads. Like I called it, man. Like how many times can you keep getting up off the mat when you put in that much effort to lose? It's probably harder to get up the next day and be confident in your game. And yeah, I feel like we're seeing like a big combination of lack of confidence, exhaustion. I'm sure there's frustration too, like with themselves and with they probably look at other players in the locker room and go, it just wears on you as a group, those kinds of losses, dude. Like it's inevitable for that to just kind of become more of an anchor. If you win those games, you probably show up the next day with a little bit more pep in your step and a little and energized, but when you're just kind of finding ways to lose, like, I mean, it was inevitable that pretty soon their whole game was going to sag. And we saw that when they went up to Canada. And yeah, a couple games where they couldn't even score. I mean, I think one got called back, didn't it? Or am I thinking of a different
Ottawa?
Was there a goal called back?
I'm pretty sure there was. That game was completely like the game against Montreal, the game against Ottawa and the game against Montreal are just like, I mean, they were just so bad. Like you just lose. It's tough to keep your brain interested when they look like that. Like if it's a 2-0 loss where they're super competitive, they're just getting goalied, that's one thing. But like when you're just like completely disinterested, it's really hard for fans to stay interested as well. But I think in the Ottawa game, there was Rickard Rakell was pushed into whatever goal he was in for Ottawa. It probably should have stood. It probably should have stood because I think it was pretty clear that he was forced into the crease. But again, the wheel of review in the NHL went against the Penguins this time. So there was one disallowed. I think it would have made it like 2-1, maybe 1-1. I can't remember exactly. Yeah. But that's a huge turning point as well. You don't know how they respond after that. Whatever air was in the sails at that point was just drained out even further. But no, the Ottawa game, Brady Tkachuk scores that goal in the first 3 minutes. And the power play the penalty kill has just been absolutely dreadful during this stretch as well. But then after Tkachuk gets that early goal, they never had anything going in this game against Ottawa, and that's super frustrating. And it just spiraled from there. I thought maybe they could get the one to get back into it, but when that was taken off the board, it just felt like that was the last straw, and that was kind of it for that one.
Yep, that one, you knew they weren't really going to come back. I think there was a point where I went and did some dishes and then came back, and it was the score had exponentially gone up against them, and it was just let's just mercy rule, just pack it in. They don't have it tonight. I don't know what it is, man. Like there are times like it's literally the whole roster. Like, I mean, there's no point in trying to really break down, I think, what ails them at this point. It's probably a bad time to try to judge this team. Yeah. We obviously had that good stretch in the beginning of the year where you could really isolate the things that were the new faces were bringing to the table, kind of the re-energized veterans, like the youth coming through and producing, getting adequate goaltending and all that. It was pretty easy to isolate kind of what was going right for the team. But then this last stretch, even the players that will at some point resume to their norm and be better, it just feels like everyone, like nothing's crisp. Like, and that tells me that this isn't what they are. They're not going to be tanking for McKenna type of team. They're probably somewhere in the middle of what we saw in the beginning of the year and what we're seeing now. And it tells me they're tired, dude. Like I can't help but I don't like making excuses for these guys. These are pro athletes and they have pride and they want to get out there and win games. But I'm looking at, even some plays by Sid, who's just the heartbeat of the team. Like it's easy to see that that guy's he's not crisp. He's not completing passes. He's kind of whiffing on stuff. And when you see him and, riverboat gamblers like Carlson, I think Carlson's actually been pretty consistent. You see these guys kind of making some mistakes here and there that at the beginning of the year, those were tape to tape passes. And at this point it's in a skate, it's deflecting. They're a little bit slower. They're behind a puck. The other team gets to it. It just they just don't have the juice right now to kind of compete. So this Christmas break couldn't come quick enough for this team, I don't think. Do you feel like also, before we move on totally, like, do you feel like maybe like that Jari trade maybe did a little bit of the opposite of jolt the team? Like, do you feel like maybe the Jari trade, I mean, you get an adequate defenseman back in Brett Kulak, and then you get Stu Skinner, who's a coin flip on how he's going to look in Pittsburgh. But I thought maybe that Jari trade was going to maybe jolt the team a bit in like a different direction, but I feel like it's almost kind of gone the opposite way. Do you think it's affected this team at all in kind of an adding to their sag in play?
I don't know if the trade was really necessarily even meant to jolt anything. I think it was more of it finally just came together. Edmonton was the willing partner.
Right.
I really think it was more of just a trade of timing rather than necessarily a jolt. But again, the way he was playing, I guess, I mean, leading into that, he had been in net for a couple of those blown leads, but he had been in Pittsburgh. Like, he was one of the longest tenured Penguins
which
at
is
this
crazy.
point. Yeah, which is, obviously you have the big three, and then really, I think Rust. At this point, it's basically, Rust, and then like Jari was like the next longest tenured Penguin on the roster.
Sam Poulin.
He was even like, he would have been like in the, but till he broke into the league. I mean, Jari would have been like one of the elder statesmen on the team. So like pulling him out of that situation, and then I guess it can just definitely throw teams a curveball they're not expecting. We had talked about some of the rumors that had been circling like months prior, but like nothing at that point had really signified that a trade was imminent, and then you get the alert that he's gone. So I mean, there's definitely an adjustment period. Then you have to welcome in two new faces to the team. You're kind of playing a little shorthanded because they have to get into the States, and then you got to welcome them in and just get them integrated into the system. Skinner obviously was thrown right in, but so was Kulak, but like they got to learn the intricacies of the way the team plays, the system Hughes has. Even the goaltenders have to understand assignments and stuff like that. So I mean, I guess it probably could have thrown a little bit of a curveball to the team, and then you got to face them like 5 days later in your own barn, and hey, now he's injured of all things. So
crazy.
I mean, I guess it could have thrown him for a curveball, but I don't think it was necessarily a trade meant to just like they were that bad. They just had to do something, like a Jim Rutherford, like they're struggling. We got to do something to send shockwaves. I think it was just more of a timing trade, and it just, there's always going to be reverberations when you pull out. Again, it wasn't like they were sending out a bottom six forward. You're sending out the guy that had at that point kind of made his mark. He was kind of taking over the number one spot.
Yeah, totally, man. I think that I don't know. I Jari wasn't exactly like lighting the world on fire or anything, but part of me just kind of noticed, like, dude, Skinner got hung out to dry in both his starts so far, and that's just, I don't know. Sometimes when you put like a rookie goaltender in, like, I don't know, in the past, I feel like the team plays so defensively sound in front of him, trying to help him get, ease into his new into the crease there with his new team, and I just felt like that didn't happen at all for Skinner those two games. It was basically he was just being completely lit up both times, so kind of unfair for him. Kind of hard to judge what you got to in Skinner when the team's playing like that in front of them. So anyways, man, we can move on from that. I was just curious.
No, that's a fair point. I mean, that's a big splash trade. That is a big name trade, and the way he was playing, he was one of the he was becoming a more consistent. But again, he's kind of one of those goalies where he'll have those stretches, and then it just he'll get injured like he did in Edmonton, or he just falls apart. So,
what do you think about the Penguins not giving Jari a tribute video?
The policy for the Penguins has always been, unless you win a cup, you don't get a tribute video.
Is that true?
Yeah,
always.
That's been the policy I forget who said that. It was revealed that a couple years ago. I forget there was another player that came in and had been here for a couple years, but he hadn't won a cup, so there was no like tribute video for guys like I think Sherry got one, Ian Cole got one. Trying to think of some other guys. Nick Bonino and Hornquist. Hagelin got one. Kessel got one, obviously. We know Sullivan got one. I think Reardon even got maybe something when he originally left, like a little thank you the first time he left.
Okay.
Because he was on that 2019 team, that 2009 team. And Bausma obviously got something. Fleury, I mean, we know a Fleury, yeah, obviously. Murray did.
He had a couple tributes, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, they brought Fleury back for a whole reunion. But no, I was not necessarily surprised. I don't know what you should like. I mean, yeah, I don't know. No, their philosophy is no tribute videos unless you want a Stanley Cup. Now, I'm sure there are some players I'm sure that could necessarily be amended for in the future, but thankfully we are lucky enough that most of the guys that have won the cup that have come back, that they've been a part of cup winning teams. So
right.
at least the memorable guys, I should say. But no, after Ottawa, they go to Montreal, and another just flat performance in the Bell Center. Very just blah. And these are two games. Like these are the two games. I'm just like, man, maybe they just need to get through to at this point. Just find something. Just get to Christmas. Just get a break. You just do not need to be touching a hockey stick for like 4 or 5 days. This was such a bad follow-up performance from the egg they laid in Ottawa 2 nights before.
Yeah, it felt like it actually at points felt like they might not score a goal ever again type of feeling. Like they weren't really generating many chances. I was getting so frustrated in that first Habs game, man. Like I just feel like they were overskating the puck. Like nothing was crisp, like I'd mentioned in some of the past games. They were working really hard and just not getting any chances. Like they'd work so hard to get the puck out of their own zone, and they'd get to the neutral zone and then try to get across the blue line, and it just gets fumbled. There's no shot on net. Someone goes for a change, and it's basically you're just punting it. So incredibly frustrating game to watch. That Fowler kid, yeah, maybe you got something in a good goaltender there, but I just feel like his 2 starts against the Penguins, they have not been great performances by the Penguins, even for their kind of skid they've hit. I don't know, man. I don't know what you do. I don't know what the team, when you're like that, I wish that there was a simple answer to like, I don't know. Like they've got no, like I was texting you, Robbie. I was like, they need a fight, man. Like someone needs to go out there and like, but unfortunately the Habs have that Josh Anderson guy who is a complete beast. They've got Arbor Jackeye. I was just like, there's no one on our team that's going to go out there and be like, hey, our team needs a jolt. I'm going to, let's go meet at center ice. No buckets. I don't know why. Maybe it's the Neanderthal in me, Robbie, but some of these games, I just feel like they need a guy out there who'll go up and be like, all right, I'm going to get the team going here. Don't you feel like they could use a guy like that?
Yeah, maybe just an energy guy. Like they just, again, this game, they
felt
like
a huge hit or something, man.
Yeah, they seemed again, like I said from the Ottawa game, just completely disinterested in doing much of anything for long portions of this game. There was no goal that was disallowed that you're like, okay, at least they did something. Just completely taken out of this game early. Montreal, again, a lot of talent in Montreal, but you got to show some heart. And in this one, the Penguins just looked, again, flatter than a pancake.
They looked awful, man. And yeah, that Montreal team too, like, you know, they've had their ups and downs, but that team is they've been building, and you can see the fruits of I was going to say their labor, but their suffering over the last few years. You can see it getting put together. Like, you know, you've had Suzuki and Cole Caulfield, and they've got Matheson, who's a good guy, but that Hudson kid, Demidov, those are special players, dude. They added those two guys, and that team is going to be off and running here. And they're missing like Patrick Laine, Kirby Doc. They're missing some good young players too. So watch out for them, man. Because in a few years, would you be shocked if they're making deep runs in the playoffs with that core they've kind of built there? And yeah, they've got what the Penguins just absolutely do not have going for them right now. They had some crispiness to them, that their play. They had a little bit of puck luck. Their speed was really noticeable. And when you've got a team that's just down on themselves, finding ways to lose, it doesn't take much to just flip the script and absolutely get waxed.
Oh, Hilton stay. Your beds are soft and cozy. No lumpy couch, no stiff futon, no shower line at crack of dawn. Oh, Hilton stay, a holiday you're saving.
When you want holiday comfort you can count on, it matters where you stay. This season, enjoy spacious, comfortable rooms and friendly service when you book with Hilton instead. Hilton for the stay.
I had that dream again. My small business needs to hire, but I don't use LinkedIn and I hire wrong. So our orders get all backed up. We're drowning in paperwork, then actually drowning, careless fighting off sharks with a stapler, and pirates are pillaging the office copier, and then I wake up.
Don't let hiring nightmares ruin your dreams. LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant goes beyond the resume, using unique insights to deliver a smarter shortlist. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/quality. Start hiring today with LinkedIn.
The Subaru Share the Love event is on. From November 20th to January 2nd. For 18 years, Subaru and its retailers have supported over 2,700 local charities through the Share the Love event. When you purchase or lease a new vehicle during the 2025 Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru and its retailers will make a minimum $300 donation to charity. Visit Subaru.com/share to learn more.
This is Jason Momoa, and I'll be your finance professor today. Welcome to Banking Smarter 101 with Chime. Bam! First lesson, sign up for Chime and set up direct deposit. You'll be joining millions of members banking fee-free. Second lesson, get cash back on eligible purchases while building credit and a higher APY on your savings. That's how you bank smarter this season. Fa-la-la-la-la, class dismissed. Join Chime today.
Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services and a secure Chime Visa credit card provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. Members FDIC. Optional services and products may have fees or charges. Details at chime.com/fees-info. With a qualifying direct deposit, earn 1.5% cash back on eligible secure Chime Visa credit card purchases. On-time payment history may have a positive impact on your credit score. Results may vary. APY means annual percentage yield. Learn about credit building and more at chime.com.
Yeah, and you're on the road, you're in a hostile environment, you're already in the middle of a bad stretch of hockey. It's just one of those, when everything can go wrong, it will go wrong. And that's what happened in these two games, and Montreal was the capstone on this one. But on to better news, they get a chance to bounce back a day later, back home. It's Montreal again. This is a home and home. This is the third time they played Montreal in like a 10-day span. The first two, not great. They've been outscored 8-2 in the first two meetings.
That sucks.
Yeah, and this one, it started off not great. Oliver Kapanen scores with at 7:30, and the first thing you're thinking is, we're doing this again. This is going to be another one of those nights. But then the moment that we've all been waiting for, Sidney Crosby, he scores and then he assists. He first ties Mario Lemieux for the most points in Penguins history. About 5 minutes of game time later, he, with the secondary assist on Rickard Rakell's power play goal, he officially takes over the number one spot from Mario Lemieux for his career at 1,724 points. I mean, just getting on that for a second, I mean, when he came into the league, you never thought that was going to happen. Like, this is a completely different level than what we ever believed Sidney Crosby could get to. To take away the title of most points in team history for the Penguins from the guy that you idolized on home ice against the team you grew up cheering for. It just, you couldn't have scripted it any better, but hats off to Sid. 17-24 and now counting. The only thing he can do now is kind of sit back and add to that total. I was looking today, and he is, I believe Gordie Howe had 1,800 and I believe 9 points with the Detroit Red Wings, meaning that Crosby could theoretically, once he could become, if he stays in Pittsburgh, obviously, the highest point getter for with one single team, which should be well within reach next season. He's less than 100 away. Obviously, probably not going to put up 85 more points this year, but should be well in the realm of possible next year.
Yeah, not with the way that this team's playing right now. He's not going to put up 80 more points. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's special stuff. I'm happy that he got it because it almost felt like it was becoming like a distraction. Yeah, I wonder a little bit if maybe they were trying to force some plays to help Sid get that. Like, Mario was even in the building at one point. His parents, I mean, it was the dad's trip, but his parents have been following him around, I believe, trying to watch and see him get this. If I'm not mistaken, I feel like they pointed to the crowd multiple times to his folks sitting up there. But yeah, I'm glad he got it, man. And I'm not going to lie, you never thought Sid was going to eclipse this mile marker, even when he came into the league with the expectations kind of around him being the next one. But he's doing it, man. And almost in a way, I almost appreciated Mario a little bit more in the moment. When I saw it only took Mario 900 games to get that many points.
Oh yeah. From a point per game perspective, Mario, Crosby's never going to touch that. Total point, the total points. But again, it speaks to Crosby's longevity as well. But Mario, from a pure talent perspective, I mean, just a comical display of hockey. I feel
like Mario
baffling.
People like to talk about, eras, maybe they wouldn't be so successful in this area. I think Mario would dominate this era too. I think that the skating, the hands, the power, the size was all there. He's basically he's like if you combine Tage Thompson and Evgeny Malkin, and those guys seem to be doing fine in the current league right now. I think if you took Mario and put him in the league right now, I'm sure there's a website that would era adjust maybe points and goals. But I think he's one of those guys that he could dominate right now if he was, coming into the league.
Yeah, I think easily he could dominate coming into the league. He did play at a time where they scored much more than they do now, right. But not not that much. He was just such a physical freak. He was just he was Malkin who could skate a little bit faster, basically. And if they would have called penalties back then like they do now,
dude, the power plays.
Yeah, I mean, he was drugged down. He was hooked. They didn't call nothing back then. And again, the goalies are better now, but I mean, Mario was one of one. And
if you take away the cigarettes and give him a cold tub and maybe the current, give him a one-piece stick, if you think about, the goalies and everything were better, but if you juice up Mario Lemieux with the current day, the way an athlete treats themselves and the equipment, I mean, he was using a Sherwood wood stick that probably weighed 25 pounds. If you give him a one-piece stick that's 350 grams, you would have, and maybe a little bit more of a toe hook on his curve, he might be sniping at an unbelievable pace. So it kind of goes both ways.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the technology today for a guy like Mario would be such an advantage too. The advancements in like the health of a player. Now again, Mario, even for back then, was not great at taking care of his body. Obviously, there's pictures of him
smoking cigarettes.
Smoking cigarettes. But like the back issues, some of that was brought on himself. Some of that was just you have a bad back, like that happens. The cancer obviously is not something he can control, but again, he wiped the cancer and then came back and dominated. And Crosby missed over a year of a hockey too because of the concussions and the subsequent neck injuries. Like that, Crosby would be pushing. He'd be getting close to 2,000 within the next, I'd say, season and a half. He'd be well past Hal right now. He'd be well past Lemieux. He would have done it way before last night. But again, he was at the peak of his career then. I think right before, about a month before he got injured, he had a 25 game point streak or something like that that season. And he was just absolutely tearing up the league. That was the peak of his powers, and missing that's like a season. So add on at your peak, add on another 115, 120 points.
Easily.
Yeah. And then you see where the numbers are, but it is what it is. If Mario would have been healthy, Gretzky would be a distant second in terms of all these records, but that's not the nature of how it plays out. But I mean, Mario, in terms of like the games played and the points, Crosby was never going to touch that in today's game. But just being able to play for 20 years, amass those numbers with the personal awards, a truly astonishing career that it still has runway left to cover.
Yeah, man, health permitted. It's a brutal game, man, and it's the longevity. It's amazing. A lot of people maybe thought there were times where people thought the career was over, like back when he was going through some of that. Like there was another great talent cut short by the brutality of this sport. But man, it seems that he moved past those injury issue, those plagued years, and it's just not really a thing anymore. And he knows what to do to take care of his body. Talk about a guy who invests in himself and relentless with the, kind of the off ice care of his body. And it shows. We'll see. His story's not done being written. It's a special night. And thank God they got 2 points because, Sid, that's all he would remember too. If that he broke Mario's record and they got the loss. Like it's good that they got the win. He contributed greatly to the win. And man, I don't know. Like I loved Malkin's little spiel at the end there, handing out the puck. Did you see that? He goes, maybe we split it in half because I'm a part of a lot of these basically. And I love that. I love Gino, man.
Yeah, Gino's great. Obviously a huge part of all of this. Letang spoke as well. I know Russ and Raquel had a picture as well. They were the other two. Raquel got the goal and Russ had the primary assist on Crosby's record-breaking point. But on top of that, the Penguins in this game, they won. Somehow, some way. It felt.
I know how. When it got to the shootout, they sent out shootout specialist Kevin Paveldatsuk Hayes.
Yeah, that was a very I did not expect of all the Penguins, Kevin Hayes to have that little change-up shot that Dobesh could not react to.
I yelled Datsuk when he did it. That is the iconic little I call it the fadeaway. I don't know what they actually call it, but he kind of just has his stick out and he just kind of does it's like a little fadeaway jumper shot into the net. I exclaimed when I saw it because I'm like, there we go. There's some creativity.
Yeah, it slows everything. It's just a completely different pace to what the goalie's expecting. He's expecting either a deke or a solid shot, like a normal speed shot, and being able to just float it. The timing for the goaltender is completely off. The only thing they can hope for is they give Nick enough of it or it completely misses the net. But Hayes, credit to him, picked the perfect spot. Top corner, nothing Dobesh could do about it. Artur Shilov's stopping 2 of 3. Very, very good. Alexander Tessier.
He tried his little.
He tried his little slide through the 5-hole, but Shilov's had his pad on the ice and stopped that. And then before we get to the Nick Suzuki, Ricard Raquel actually deked, and Dobesh was like almost at the dots when he was coming down, and when Raquel made that deke, Dobesh basically only had a prayer to hopefully wipe at it, and Raquel was able to backhand it into the corner of the net. And then Nick Suzuki comes down, tries a deke, but Shilov stays with him, pad on the ice, shoots it into the pad. And you could see they went right to the bench. The camera panned right to the bench, and it just seemed like a huge sigh of relief that they finally figured out a way to win a shootout. Guys started pouring off the bench. Guys were 2 hands up in the air. But on top of that, they won. I didn't care about giving up a point. I didn't care. They just needed to get 2 points somehow. And thank heavens, they get back home. The energy in the building was incredible with Crosby getting that. It pretty much hung around all night. And they do enough, and they get a win. Finally, first win in over 2 weeks.
Yeah, man. Thank God for 2 points. And it feels like, this could be a turning point in the season for them right now. This stretch, they could be like, dude, we did it. We slayed the dragon. We got one. We finally won in a shootout. Let's not get to this point again. Let's get motivated. Like, we got it. Let's not do this. I wanted to ask you, Robbie, I've been noticing in Raquel's game, we know he's coming back from an injury. We know how he played under Sullivan. I think Sullivan used him in a lot more of like a straight line type player, use his size, play down below the dots with Sid when he's on his line. I feel like I'm curious if you would agree with me that Muse maybe went to Raquel and goes, you're a skill guy when you were in Anaheim. You played with Trevor Zegras and Sonny Milano, and you guys were parts of all sorts of Michigan trickery and like some fun looking hockey out there. Of course, those weren't winning teams, of course. But
yeah,
from what I've seen in Raquel, it looks like Dan Muse maybe went to him and said, we need some creativity. And he kind of freed him up, because I've been seeing Raquel doing a lot more with the puck out there than maybe what Sullivan was kind of demanding from him. Very straight line, down low play. I mean, he had that incredible dangle move. I believe it was against Ottawa. It was either against Ottawa or in Montreal. He had an incredible, split the defense, toe drag between the legs, little forehand, backhand, and tried to tuck it past the pad of Fowler.
Yep.
And then you see him in the shootout too. It wasn't just a come down, one side of the net there and just try to roof job it. It was a little, hey, how are you? Big dangle, backhand, a little not crossbar, post in action. So do you feel like have you been noticing that with Raquel? Is that just me? And even if you haven't noticed it, Raquel is one of those guys that can bring some skill to the game. Do you think that maybe Muse would tap him on the shoulder and say, hey, you know what, right now we could use a little flash and dash?
Yeah, I mean, he is a pure sniper, but he's like Kessel was too, but Kessel didn't really have. Kessel had one move, and that was just try to pick a corner and shoot the puck, just blow it by a guy. Raquel definitely comes off as a guy that has a little more of the hands to him in a different way than like a guy like Crosby. Obviously, definitely seems like he's more of just a sniper with the better hands that he can try a deke, which he did against Dobesh, and it worked. Dobesh was, for some reason, so far out of his crease that once he made that move and just got a little bit of space around him, there's nothing that Dobesh could do at that point, and he tucked it in the top corner. But no, yeah, you have to get guys out there that are again. Kevin Hayes didn't really do anything fancy in terms of a move. That shot is not easy. Like try that. Like there's not many. Like you ain't seen that in a beer league. The only off-speed pitches in a beer league are ones that are whipped about 4 times and have enough forward momentum to like crawl on goal. But like, no, that's a very tricky little shot, and like probably not something you'll necessarily be able to pull off again because goalies are going to be watching for it.
Right.
They'll prepare a little, but who knows what else he has in up his sleeve. Hopefully we get to see him again if they get to a shootout. But no, I mean that's a tough shot to make. But Raquel, yeah, I mean he has that kind of people think that he's a tricky kind of player. He does have good hands. So yeah, send him out there being like, hey, just don't shoot it directly at him. Do something.
Yeah,
even if you look
capable.
stupid doing it, just do it. Yeah.
And right now it's like they need a little something. And if I think he can kind of provide that from time to time. You know, they don't have like, I feel like there's a lot of these younger players coming into the leagues. Like you look at like the Fantillis and the Kent Johnsons, the Trevor Zegras, the Cutter Gauthiers, the Macklin Celebrini, Will Smiths, like all these kids, they can rip the puck and they can kind of play kind of any way you want, but they all bring this like little bag of tricks with them too, like some serious, like, you know, road hockey type tricks. And, you know, I feel like the Penguins have a lot of players that they're all great players and pros, and, you know, they can play straight line hockey and whatever. But I think in the league right now, if you can provide that, but hey, if you got time and space and you can deke the goalie out of his trousers, man, like bring that too. I mean, obviously you need, you know, Trevor Zegras was trying to pull the Michigan, I think, a little too much in Anaheim. It got him in trouble.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you've got players that are playing the game for the most part the right way and it's not working for you, reach into that bag of tricks, baby. Like, why not?
Yeah, I mean, get fancy. At this point, like, you need something to work. Like, nothing is working to this point in the season, the shootout. Go out, do something funny. If you look stupid doing it, at least you tried something besides shooting it right in to the goalie's pads. I mean,
I'd love to see a Penguin pull the Michigan.
Well, you can't do that in a shootout.
No. I just mean in a game. Like
Crosby's tried it. It's the thing with it. Everything has to work perfectly for it. And if the goalie is even like slightly able to if anybody can disrupt anything at all, it's really hard to pull off. So like, yeah, if you can disrupt it at all, then it makes it difficult. But yeah, it would be very cool. Crosby's tried it, so like maybe that will be his Fleury empty net goal. Like it'll just bug him until he finally gets it done. But yeah, that would be.
Raquel's tried it too. I remember it popped onto his stick one time, and he ended up just kind of picking it up in the Michigan, and it flew off his stick. But
it's very hard because you need the momentum to keep it on your stick. It's very, very difficult, especially like this isn't like high school hockey. Like you're doing this with NHL players like standing around. Like everything's fast.
Everything's fast, and yeah, like it's also probably not in good taste to do it if you're getting blown out 4-0 and you have time and space behind the net. Like it's probably just like, why would I do this now? But I don't know, if you're up a couple goals, I don't know, just why not, man? Like I don't think one's been done in the NHL since, I want to say since Connor Bedard maybe did it, like in his rookie season.
Yeah, I know Svechnikov did it a few times. Bedard's probably the most recent. Zegras has tried it.
Zegras has done it a few times, but it's been a while. He definitely hasn't tried. Oh, Michkov tried it last year.
Yeah.
And he
got in trouble for it.
He got in trouble with Torts, said he lost the whole battle with the Michigan and whatever. Yeah. So I don't know. Why not, man? The Penguins, besides Sid and Raquel, who you think's maybe got it in their bag? You think Kendall could pull the Michigan?
I bet Kendall could try it.
He's probably got that in his.
I bet. No, well, McGroarty, he went to Michigan. Why?
He actually went to Michigan. It's probably standard practice. They have to.
Yeah, you got to do it. You got to do that to get your scholarship. You have to be able to pull that off at least in practice to get your scholarship. But
it's a good point.
Yeah. So moving on from the hockey before we wrap this up, one other bit of news. The Penguins are being sold.
Oh yeah, dude.
Fenway Sports Group has reached an agreement with, let me get their name correct. I got to find the right name. They are the owner of the ECHL's Florida Everblades, who have won a couple ECHL Kelly Cup titles in the past handful of years. My goodness, where is that tweet at?
They're the
with the Hoffman family. They are based out of, I believe, Chicago. They are a single family, so it is they're not a they're not like a conglomerate. They're not like a collective of teams. What does this mean? I have no idea.
We'll find out soon enough.
Yeah, I don't know when everything will close or that. They've just reached a formal agreement, entered into a formal agreement to acquire controlling interest of the Pittsburgh Penguins, which would mean controlling interest means over 50%. So Fenway may still be hanging on to some of the assets there. I know there were some rumors back when the Hoffman family was mentioned before the season that Mario Lemieux could be involved. That would be fantastic, obviously. But what it all means, I don't know. Fenway Sports Group did a lot of good stuff behind the scenes. They upgraded the arena. They brought back the Hall of Fame. There's a lot of little stuff. They hired Kyle Dubas. They kind of gave him free reign to do as he wanted, and you can kind of see that starting to play out. I think that for the most part, we like what we're seeing there. But yeah, they're moving on from the at least majority ownership of the Penguins. So we'll see how this all plays out. But that agreement is now set, and I guess we'll just wait until everything's signed. And that's all I can really say about that. Other than that, I don't really have any opinion on it.
Well, they've done quite a bit of winning at the level in which they own their franchise down there in the ECHL. So you'd imagine that. I don't know how hard it is to manage a winning team in the East Coast Hockey League, but they're not buying the Penguins to, tank for McKenna. I believe that much. I wonder if, they're buying this group because they're obviously buying it because they like there's some stuff they like about it. Dubas is probably safe. I'm sure this year, once the papers are signed, let's say it happens around the new year when it's all official and sold, like, nothing will probably happen this year anyways. I don't think they're going to come. They're going to probably be monitoring and seeing how things are going, and they're going to implement their ways probably over time, slowly, but I don't expect them to make a big splash and fire Dubas and clean house and put in a bunch of ECHL guys. It's nothing like that. I mean, it's going to be a slow trickle as far as any sort of like visible change with what goes on. So dude, I guess we'll see what's up with that. Not the, I like a lot of these like people covering it. They like to make it bigger than it is. And right now it's not even done yet. So, but it is interesting. I wonder if Lemieux will come into the fold in some capacity.
It'd be great if they did because, it's great to have Lemieux around the franchise. I hope Crosby stays around the franchise once he retires as well. I think it has a huge positive impact on the on-ice product and the off-ice product as well. So would love to see him in the fold more going forward.
100%. You need to get Yager over here, man.
There was talk that he was going to, but I don't know if he's still, I don't know. It's tough to say what old Double J's up to.
He's playing right now, which is insane.
I
saw he got his first point of the season like a month ago or something.
Jeez. Hey, I mean, if you can still do it, you might as well.
Wouldn't it be cool if he just moved back to Pittsburgh and had like a sick job with the Penguins and he was just skating around all the time, working with Sid? He
would absolutely be at practice every day. Not like in practice every day.
No, like he would be there like behind Dan Muse with his full gear on.
He'd be taking line rushes.
Yeah, you'd see him step in there every once in a while.
Yeah.
They need someone to dish for like power play, like one-timer practice. He'd step in.
Yeah, they bring him just to do shootouts.
Yeah. Dude, thank you for bringing that up. Before we get out of here, I literally had this idea when they won that shootout. You know how they're changing these rules to be able to carry like an extra goalie for this whole e-bug situation?
Yeah.
What if you could have a roster of shootout players? Like, what if you could have like 3 shootout players that are just on the contract, but they're not NHL players? Like they're like, like Instagram influencer shootout people.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I mean,
or just like college players, or former college players. Like, what if you could, in some capacity, hire like a roster of just what's that basketball team that's like not an NBA team,
the Globetrotters?
What if you could hire some like hockey Globetrotters for a shootout?
I mean, yeah, I would be down with that. I mean, just get some like old college guys out there that they were never good enough to crack it at the full level, but like they got some sick hands. Just go out there, tell them to pound one before they step on the ice, and just
stay loose.
Go get weird with it.
What do you think about that? Would that be too sideshowy to be introduced in the NHL, or do you think that?
But hey, it's fun to dream up wild scenarios.
I mean, yeah, if I were an owner, I don't know if I'd be thrilled about adding some like just goofballs to a payroll, but like if it helped you win, if it helped you with the 2 points, I don't know. I think it's just a Penguins problem that's got me digging, like thinking about this, because you look at other teams, I don't think their shootout records are as abysmal as the Penguins, but that's where I've been at. I've literally been like, can you hire Swaggy P? The hockey influencer that does the crazy, dangles and shootout moves. Like, could you pay him $1 million a year to just kind of be on call and be on, at home, like at home games?
Yeah.
And in the shootout, you've got a small roster of Swaggy P like people that they go and they take the Penguins uniforms and everything, not just street clothes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, probably too crazy. They should do that in the skills competition. Get a bunch of those like TikTok guys and let them shoot on the NHL guys.
I'd love to see it, man. I don't know, because skills competition, yeah, dude, like anything to shake up the monotony of the last couple All-Star games. But thankfully, we don't got to worry about that for another year.
Yeah, but
all right, Robbie, I got nothing left for this. The Penguins finally win in a shootout.
The Penguins finally do win.
Sid gets past his Mario. Hallelujah.
The Penguins win. Their final game before Christmas break is on Tuesday, which is the day you'll probably be listening to this. It's a 4:00 Eastern time game in Toronto. You want to talk about a team that is the wheels are about fully off the wagon. The Toronto
you mentioned Mark Savard getting taken out by Matt Cook. He just got taken out again by Brett Treliving.
He did get fired. He did get fired prior, like literally as we were recording this. He was fired. So that seems like putting a Band-Aid over a hole in the bottom of a boat for that team right
stink.
Now. They've beat the Penguins twice this year, and both times the media said this is the turning point. So maybe this time the Penguins can put a nail in the coffin of this team.
I need that for Christmas, man. I want to see Austin Matthews sulk more, and I want to see Willie Nylander get yelled at by Berube a little bit more. Why give them any room? Like, step on them, dude.
One, it would be a great boost for the Penguins heading into the Christmas break, and it would be, you'd have to have the Maple Leafs and their fans stewing on that for the better part of 4 or 5 days. So it would be a great way to wrap up this portion of the schedule. But for us, this will be our last episode before Christmas. So to our listeners, have a great holiday. We will be back before the new year at some point. So have a good Christmas. Be safe, be merry, be jolly. Drink your eggnog if you're into that kind of thing. Open the presents, spend time with family. But I have nothing else. Snell, do you have anything else before I?
No, just Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and man, enjoy yourselves. The Penguins need this break, dude. But we'll be back before the New Year's, and that when we come back, man, it's gonna literally be like, there's only so many games, a couple handfuls of games before it's Olympic time.
Yeah,
and then we got some interesting conversations to have, but. Enjoy the holidays before then, guys. That's all I got.
Yeah, enjoy the holidays. Enjoy the game tomorrow. But until we talk to you guys again, have a good Christmas. Have a safe Christmas. For Snail, I'm Robbie. Enjoy your week, everyone.